Okay, so accuracy issues with one of my white rifles. It's the early run of this rifle. Serial number is 640 something. Stainless barrel, 50 caliber. The barrel is stamped. 504. So you should be able to shoot a 5035 to 504 bullet and be able to load it easily without cleaning between shots and get good accuracy out of it. Has not been the case with this gun, shooting 5035 bullets. Part of the reason is this barrel is not 504. It's a little larger. Okay, so that bullet right there, just under 505. Just barely under 505. That was sized through my little homemade sizing press, which I'll show you here in a second. But this bullet pushes right in. And pushes right down. One finger. Then there's a loose spot. I don't know if you just saw that ramrod gib, but there's about a 1-inch loose spot in there. Then it snugs up until you get right in the breech, right where the breech plug screws down and against the shoulder of the barrel. You have to kind of tap it out to get it to come out of there. And then, if we can zoom this in a little bit, you can see the rifle engravings on that thing. Now, let's check it again here. Okay, so 505 right there. 504 and about 2/10. 504 and about 6/10. 504 and about 6/10. 504 and about 6/10. So I think that barrel is probably about 504 and a half at the bottom, and it's running about 505, maybe 505 and a half at the top. And it seems to run that 505 down till I get just beyond the front sight there, about that last, well, actually about right where the front sight is, or the rear sight, excuse me, is where that barrel loosens up for just a skosh, about an inch, and then snugs back up. And actually gets much more snug. And I haven't been able to get any kind of accuracy out of this rifle at all. I was gonna have it rebarreled, and I still may, until I discovered, and what led me to even do this was I've got another gun that's kind of a clone to this one, but it has a serial number in either the 300s or the 500s. I can't make out the first number on the stamp, and that rifle's at the house, but I was shooting it one day, and I was trying I was trying 777 out of it. I was trying Pyrodex P, Pyrodex RS, Pyrodex Select, the Black MZ. I mean, I shot every powder that I had. I didn't ever try real black powder out of it. Burned through probably close to 100 bullets out of that barrel of the No Excuses. They were size 5.035. It never even dawned on me how easily the bullets were pushing down the barrel. So I made a new mold and built this bullet here with a little more rounded nose, a little smaller flat point on the tip. I'm not sure if you pronounce that Meplat or Meplat. In any event, MEPLAT. It's about 1/8 of an inch or so on that. And I got rid of the front shoulder. There's a little step on the No Excuses bullets, and a lot of the others, I made that nose come out to full band diameter, just to try and make it a little more aerodynamic. Something that's shooting, only 1,300 feet per second or so. I don't know that aerodynamic really makes that big of a difference at that low velocity, but just something I wanted to play with. And so I had built this sizing press a while ago. You can see it's pretty rough. Not real great craftsmanship on this thing, but it does work. And I've built a series of dies. This one's 5.035. This one's 5.05. And this one is 5.07. And then I've got a couple for my .45 caliber also. So this bullet has been through the 5.05 die. Just drop it in there, drop the bullet in, and it drops almost all the way through because it's already been through it. And then punch it through. The 5.07 die, I've got a little better accuracy out of my other barrel with the 5.07 bullets, and I think I'm going to go another 0.5 larger. I'll build another die, go 5.075, and try those and see what I get out of those. But the accuracy still, it's improved over the 6-inch, but it still isn't what I know these guns are capable of. I think that's the 5.07. Yeah, that one's the 5.07 bullet for that other rifle. So anyway, if you guys out there, any of you shooting white rifles, and I had a guy on one of the muzzleloader forums I'm on suggest not shooting pure lead, do a little bit more of an alloy with tin. I don't remember the exact alloy he was shooting out of his stainless barrels because he was not able to get any kind of grouping with the pure lead bullets with the stainless barrels. For some reason, they just wouldn't shoot them. And I found that with my old whitetail. It has a blued barrel, and that gun shoots about inch and a quarter group at 100 yards all day long without cleaning between shots. Shooting those 5.035s, just stuffing them down, and with about 90 grains of I believe I'm shooting Pyrodex Select RS, or Pyrodex Select. I don't think they call it RS. Anyway, it's equivalent of a 2F powder. and that shoots my home cast bullets really well. So I'm going to try and increase the alloy and try these two stainless barrels again. I was gonna. That's why this barrel's out of the gun. I was in the process of making barrel wrenches to pull that off, and I was going to order a new 45 caliber barrel for this rifle and replace it, but it may not be. It may still shoot, so I'm going to try these 505s and see if I get some improved accuracy over what I was getting with the 5035 No Excuses bullets. And that's not a knock on Dave at No Excuses. He builds a great bullet. They shoot awesome out of my 45 caliber, and they also shoot awesome out of my whitetail with the blued barrel. So it's just these two stainless barrels on these 50 calibers I have are running quite a bit larger than. It's kind of like rolling a bowling ball down a drainage culvert. It gets wobbling around, and who knows which direction the nose is going to be pointed when it comes out of the barrel. So anyway, that's just a couple things I've found with my whites. Anybody else out there shooting them that are having trouble with accuracy, leave your comments below. I'd love to hear what you did to solve them, or send you a handful of these bullets, different sizes, to try out of your rifles and see if you get any kind of better accuracy. These, when they come out of the mold, I built the mold so it drops a 508 bullet, so it takes very little effort to push them through the 507 die, but I do need to step them down. I'll punch them through the 507, then the 505, and then the 5035 if I want to get to shoot them out of my whitetail with that little bit tighter barrel. I'll size them down 2 or 3 times so it's not such a big push. A couple of these, I don't know if you can really see on the base. It dimpled it pretty good because I just tried to punch them through in one step from 508 down to 505, and it left kind of a little dimple on the base. They still shoot really good, but I don't like that, so I decided to start pushing them through. I don't know where those bullets are at. They're here somewhere, the ones that I pushed through in 3 steps. They ended up with a lot better base on them. So, one last look at the little press. It's just something I whipped up, and I mean my linkages, that should be cammed right up over the top for the most force when you get to the bottom of the stroke. I wasn't paying attention to that. I just wanted something that I could drop the bullet in there and pull a handle and push it through. And I've never bolted this down. I've never had to. They push through good enough. I can just put my hand on the base here once I drop the bullet in and pull the ram and push it through. And all of these, you can't see it, but they all have about a 1 degree lead in, for the first, about 50% of the die, and then the last portion is straight, where it actually sizes the bands down on the bullet. Did that to try and make sure they drive through centered, as good as I can anyway. And so far I've had good luck with it. So, and this was, I built the dies on my lathe, and these little blocks, I just stuck them on the mill, drilled a hole in it, and then went through with a boring head and bored the last 1/4 inch of it out, or that first 1/4 inch of it, to accept the shoulder on the die, so it sits in there and doesn't press through. and they're just welded on. The little ram guide is just a piece of pipe. I ran a reamer through it, and then I had a piece of nylon that I drilled a hole through to fit the diameter of the ram, and just dropped it in there and it fits pretty snug. You know, it's maybe 1/1000th small, to try and guide that as straight as I could. Where I got into a little bit of trouble where I welded those on. You can see that's bowed and leaning a little bit, but it still drives through the center of that die. So that's what's important. So anyway, there you go. A couple of things I've been doing to try and save or increase my accuracy and save myself a lot of lead and a lot of powder.